Hello, steady Taurus. August 10 and 11, 2026 invite you into a quieter kind of transformation, one that begins beneath the surface before it ever becomes visible in the outside world. You may find yourself noticing that some routines, commitments, or expectations no longer offer the sense of security they once did. Rather than seeing this as something to fear, allow yourself to view it as a sign of healthy growth. Every meaningful season asks you to recognize what continues to nourish your roots and what has simply remained because it feels familiar. The first of these 2 days encourages observation instead of immediate action. You may experience moments when certainty and hesitation seem to exist side by side, and that is a natural part of the process. Give yourself a few quiet minutes to breathe deeply or spend time outdoors where your thoughts can settle at their own pace. The goal is not to force answers, but to create enough space for your own inner wisdom to become easier to hear. As your perspective begins to clear, you may recognize what has truly been weighing on your heart. Perhaps you've been protecting something that once brought comfort, but no longer reflects the person you're becoming. Instead of asking yourself how to hold on more tightly, consider what deserves your steady care going forward. The more honestly you listen to yourself, the easier your next decisions will feel, because they will grow from conviction rather than fear. By the second day, your attention naturally turns toward action. This is a favorable moment to set intentions that reflect your genuine priorities, whether they involve your relationships, your work, or a personal goal you've quietly carried for some time. You don't need permission from anyone else before taking a meaningful step. Your intuition may not arrive like a sudden flash of insight, but as a calm, persistent feeling that gently reminds you which direction feels right. If you've questioned your own value recently, let these days remind you that your worth isn't measured by how perfectly you maintain every part of your life. Real progress comes from choosing what deserves your energy and allowing yourself to grow beyond old expectations. Even modest actions taken with patience and confidence can create lasting change, especially when they reflect what truly matters to you. As these 2 days unfold, you may notice a growing sense of balance, replacing the pressure to control every outcome. Each thoughtful decision strengthens your confidence and reminds you that meaningful transformation often happens quietly, one choice at a time. Release the belief that every answer must appear immediately. Every experience offers another opportunity to understand yourself more deeply and move forward with greater purpose. Receive these reflections as gentle guidance rather than absolute certainty. Some ideas may speak directly to your current situation, while others may simply offer something to consider later. Your journey is uniquely your own, and your intuition remains the best guide for deciding what feels true. In the moments ahead, we'll explore how these symbolic energies may be reflected across the different areas of your life, beginning with the themes that can offer additional insight for these 2 days. For this reading, the symbolic color is sage green, representing patient renewal, grounded healing, and steady growth. Let it serve as a quiet reminder to stay connected to what restores your energy rather than what merely feels familiar. You are entering a season of meaningful inner movement, where lasting change begins not by becoming someone different, but by choosing, with greater honesty, what is truly worth nurturing. As August 10 and 11, 2026 unfold, you may feel a quiet pull toward questions that once seemed easy to overlook. Instead of accepting familiar answers, you begin looking beneath the surface, noticing where your life still reflects your deepest values and where it has simply followed old habits. This growing curiosity isn't asking you to abandon your sense of stability. It's inviting you to strengthen it by building your future on what genuinely supports you rather than on what merely feels comfortable. The people around you may sense this shift before you even speak about it. You're not becoming someone else. You're allowing a more authentic part of yourself to be seen, one that has patiently waited for the right moment to emerge. As your priorities become clearer, not everyone will understand your new perspective, and that's perfectly natural. Personal growth often changes the way you relate to others long before it changes your circumstances. Some encounters during these 2 days may leave you feeling uncertain or emotionally drained. There's no need to distance yourself with anger, but healthy boundaries can become an important form of self-respect. pay attention to the quiet instincts that tell you when to open your heart and when to protect your peace. Your intuition may arrive gently, but it carries the kind of wisdom that becomes stronger each time you choose to trust it. Your dreams and inner reflections may also become more vivid. Rather than treating every symbol as a prediction, consider them invitations to better understand your own emotional landscape. Keeping a few notes after waking could reveal patterns that aren't obvious at first, but begin making sense over time. Sometimes the conversations happening beneath the surface of your mind explain more than the noise of your daily routine ever could. Emotionally, you'll notice something shifting within you. A new desire for authenticity may begin replacing the need to preserve every familiar structure simply because it has always been there. Allow yourself to explore those feelings with patience instead of rushing toward conclusions. Some of the choices that emerge from this deeper clarity, especially in matters of the heart, may reflect a stronger sense of self than you've expressed before. You may also become aware of someone whose attention feels unusually intense. Whether it comes from admiration, comparison, or unresolved emotion, avoid letting another person's energy determine your own direction. If an important conversation unfolds, speak honestly while remaining grounded in your values. The greatest strength isn't found in winning every exchange, but in responding without losing your inner balance. These 2 days open a meaningful chapter centered on renewal, self-awareness, and quiet opportunity. What once felt delayed or uncertain may begin revealing its purpose, encouraging you to recognize abilities you've possessed all along. Instead of waiting for circumstances to transform your life, you'll start seeing how thoughtful choices steadily reshape your future. Growth becomes less about chasing something new and more about fully using what is already within your reach. The magician symbolizes your ability to turn experience into meaningful action. The resources, talents, and wisdom you need are closer than you may realize, especially in areas connected to your career or long-term financial goals. Someone may gradually draw closer, revealing genuine interest through consistency rather than grand gestures. Trust both your practical judgment and the quiet confidence that has been growing within you. The sun represents clarity after uncertainty. Situations that once seemed confusing may begin making more sense, lifting emotional weight you've carried for longer than necessary. A sincere connection, perhaps with someone who brings youthful optimism or a refreshing outlook, could remind you that joy often returns when you stop trying to force every outcome. Encouraging news related to your home, work, or future plans may reinforce the direction you've already been considering. The King of Pentacles highlights steady progress, reminding you that lasting prosperity is usually built through patience rather than speed. Whether you're strengthening your financial foundation, improving your living situation, or accepting greater responsibility, your efforts are creating something designed to endure. Relationships that support your growth will naturally feel more balanced because they honor both affection and mutual respect. The Knight of Wands introduces momentum where hesitation once existed. Someone may finally express feelings that have remained unspoken, or you may find yourself ready to move forward with plans you postponed for too long. Let enthusiasm inspire you without allowing it to replace thoughtful decision-making. True confidence comes from moving forward with intention rather than urgency. The Fool invites you to loosen your grip on fears that no longer protect you. This isn't about abandoning caution, but about recognizing the difference between wisdom and unnecessary hesitation. A meaningful opportunity, heartfelt conversation, or unexpected encounter may encourage you to step beyond familiar limits with quiet confidence. Together, these symbols tell the story of steady transformation, growing clarity, and the kind of abundance that begins with trusting yourself. Your body, meanwhile, is asking for greater kindness. You may have adapted so well to carrying responsibilities that you stopped noticing how much energy you've been giving away. These 2 days offer a gentle reminder that rest isn't a reward earned after exhaustion. It is part of the foundation that allows every other part of your life to flourish. As these 2 days continue, give yourself permission to slow your pace without feeling that you're falling behind. Not every responsibility requires your immediate attention, and not every outcome rests entirely on your shoulders. Sometimes the strongest choice isn't pushing harder, but recognizing when your energy is asking for restoration instead of effort. When you allow yourself moments to breathe, your energy naturally begins to recover, creating space for clearer thinking and steadier emotions. If you notice yourself feeling emotionally heavy, unusually impatient, or disconnected from your usual sense of calm, treat those feelings as gentle reminders rather than personal failures. They aren't signs that you're losing your balance. They're quiet signals inviting you to care for yourself before exhaustion begins making decisions on your behalf. Simple acts of care may be more powerful than dramatic changes right now. Drink enough water, spend time outside if you can, and create small spaces where your mind isn't constantly responding to demands. Even a few peaceful moments away from constant expectations can help restore a sense of perspective that busyness often hides. Balance often returns through ordinary choices repeated with intention rather than extraordinary efforts made only once. Listening to yourself without criticism and responding to your own needs without waiting for permission can quietly restore more than you realize. The relationship you build with yourself during these quieter moments becomes the foundation from which every other part of your life naturally grows stronger. In your professional life, your steady commitment continues to build a strong foundation, but growth now asks for flexibility as well as consistency. The world around you keeps evolving, and these 2 days encourage you to welcome new methods, tools, or ideas with curiosity instead of hesitation. Rather than seeing change as something that threatens what you've already achieved, allow yourself to view it as another layer being added to the strengths you spent years developing. Whether you learn through a course, a meaningful conversation, practical experience, or simple observation, every new skill becomes another resource you can draw upon in the future. This isn't about keeping up with everyone else. It's about giving yourself greater confidence in the path you're already creating and preparing yourself for opportunities that may appear when you least expect them. The knowledge you gain now has the potential to strengthen what you've already built instead of replacing it. Real progress doesn't erase your experience, it expands it, allowing your past efforts to become even more valuable. If you're searching for a new position or preparing for an interview, allow your natural reliability, patience, and thoughtful approach to speak for themselves. Employers and collaborators often recognize authenticity more quickly than polished performances. Authentic confidence leaves a stronger and more lasting impression than trying to appear perfect, because genuine self-assurance comes from knowing your value rather than trying to prove it. Financially, these 2 days invite you to recognize the value of what you've patiently cultivated over time. A project that has been waiting quietly in the background could begin moving again, or an unexpected conversation may reveal an opportunity worth exploring more carefully. What appears to be a small development at first may gradually reveal greater potential as additional pieces fall into place. Rather than viewing these moments as luck alone, see them as the natural result of consistent effort, meeting the right circumstances after a period of patient preparation. Stay grounded as possibilities emerge, especially those connected to your home, long-term stability, investments of time, or future planning. Lasting abundance is often built through steady decisions that continue to support you well beyond the present moment. Someone with valuable experience may offer guidance that helps you see options you hadn't previously considered. Their perspective doesn't have to replace your own, but it may illuminate possibilities that were difficult to recognize from where you've been standing. Listen carefully, then evaluate each opportunity according to your own values, instead of outside expectations. Prosperity tends to grow when practical decisions are supported by an open mind and the willingness to adapt without abandoning your principles. Small, thoughtful actions, reviewing your plans, strengthening a foundation, organizing your resources, or revisiting an unfinished idea can create momentum that lasts far beyond these 2 days. Often, it's the quiet improvements that eventually produce the most meaningful results. In matters of the heart, life may unfold a little differently than you expected, but that doesn't mean it's moving in the wrong direction. Sometimes what feels like an interruption is actually creating space for a deeper understanding between two people. A brief misunderstanding with a partner or someone important may simply reflect the fact that you're both adjusting to personal growth and learning new ways to communicate your needs. Honest conversation becomes far more valuable than silent assumptions, especially when both people are willing to listen as carefully as they speak. Share what has been changing within you, not to justify yourself, but to invite greater understanding and create room for your relationship to evolve alongside you. The people who truly care about you will recognize that growth sometimes asks for patience from everyone involved. Healthy relationships aren't built because two people never change. They grow stronger because both people choose to keep understanding one another as life evolves. Relationships deepen when both people are willing to make room for change instead of resisting it or expecting everything to remain exactly the same. As you continue moving through this period, you discover that emotional security isn't created by avoiding difficult conversations. It grows from knowing you can face them with sincerity, kindness, emotional maturity, and mutual respect. The trust that develops through honest communication often becomes far stronger than the comfort created by simply avoiding conflict. If you're single, these 2 days gently encourage you to let your heart become a little more available to new possibilities. You may notice subtle moments that awaken your curiosity, a conversation that lingers in your thoughts, an unexpected connection, or a feeling that quietly reminds you you're ready to experience love from a healthier, more grounded place than before. Instead of trying to impress anyone, focus on feeling comfortable in your own presence and allowing your authenticity to speak for itself. The most meaningful relationships often begin when you're no longer trying to become someone else to deserve them, but instead recognize that your greatest strength is simply being fully yourself. The confidence that grows from self-acceptance naturally invites people who appreciate you for who you truly are. Should someone new enter your life, allow the connection to unfold naturally, rather than measuring every step against past experiences. Not every new beginning follows the same path as the last, and not every unfamiliar feeling is a warning. There's strength in remaining open without abandoning your discernment, giving trust the time it needs to develop, instead of rushing to define what something must become. Genuine affection rarely asks you to betray your own values or silence your inner voice. The more secure you feel within yourself, the easier it becomes to welcome others without unnecessary defenses, creating space for relationships built on mutual respect instead of fear or uncertainty. Within your home and family, these 2 days carry a calm, grounding atmosphere that encourages honest conversations and renewed understanding. Discussions about future plans, shared responsibilities, or long-term goals may strengthen the sense that you're building something meaningful together, one thoughtful decision at a time. You don't have to carry every burden alone in order to be a source of stability. Sometimes your quiet presence, your willingness to listen, or your ability to remain calm during emotional moments contributes far more to harmony than trying to solve every problem immediately. True support is often felt through consistency rather than grand gestures. Old family patterns surrounding security, expectations, or emotional expression may naturally come into focus. Rather than revisiting them with frustration, approach them with curiosity and compassion, recognizing that every generation carries its own experiences and ways of understanding the world. Someone younger or someone who simply brings a fresh perspective may offer an idea that helps everyone see familiar situations differently. Be willing to let these conversations evolve naturally instead of expecting instant agreement. Small acts of kindness, thoughtful listening, and genuine patience can deepen trust far more than dramatic gestures ever could, creating an environment where everyone feels more comfortable expressing what truly matters. Your energy may fluctuate throughout August 10 and 11, 2026. The beginning of this period could feel slower, encouraging patience with yourself, while later hours may bring greater focus and renewed motivation. Rather than judging yourself for moments of lower energy, recognize them as opportunities to recharge before moving forward again. Plan demanding tasks when your energy feels strongest, and honor your need for rest when your body asks for it, without feeling guilty for slowing down. Sustainable progress comes from working with your natural rhythm instead of against it, and respecting those rhythms will ultimately allow you to accomplish more with less unnecessary strain. One of your greatest strengths during these 2 days will be your intuition. Certain choices may not make complete logical sense at first, yet a quiet inner certainty can guide you toward what genuinely supports your future. Pay attention to those calm moments of knowing that arise without pressure, often appearing when your mind is no longer searching so intensely for answers. They may come through a passing thought, an unexpected feeling of peace, or a simple realization that quietly settles within you. These subtle insights often reveal more than constant analysis ever could because they emerge from a deeper understanding of yourself. At the same time, memories from the past may quietly resurface. If they do, allow yourself to acknowledge them without letting them define the present. Some memories return not to pull you backward, but to show you how much you've already grown since those moments first shaped you. Gratitude for what has shaped you doesn't require holding on to what no longer belongs in your life. Protect your energy by choosing environments and conversations that leave you feeling stronger rather than emotionally depleted. Not every invitation deserves your attention, and healthy boundaries are an important form of self-respect that allows your emotional resources to remain available for the people and experiences that truly deserve them. As you move into new experiences, let humility accompany your confidence. Real transformation rarely announces itself with noise. It often grows quietly through consistent choices, patience, and gratitude. Lasting change is usually built through the small decisions you make each day rather than dramatic turning points. Every step taken with honesty strengthens the life you're creating and reinforces the trust you are learning to place in yourself. For students, these 2 days offer a valuable reminder to trust your own ability. You may underestimate how much you've learned or how naturally you connect ideas once you give yourself enough space to think clearly. Progress isn't always measured by how quickly you master something, but by your willingness to continue learning even when the process feels challenging. Stay organized, review your priorities, and keep distractions from pulling your attention away from what matters most. Confidence grows through preparation, consistency, and experience, and your willingness to keep learning will become one of your greatest advantages long after these 2 days have passed. In terms of compatibility, supportive connections may be especially noticeable with Virgo, whose practical insight can help refine your long-term plans without disrupting your steady approach. Pisces may encourage greater emotional openness and remind you to balance strength with compassion, while Capricorn can reinforce your commitment to building lasting foundations and pursuing meaningful goals with patience. Each of these symbolic pairings reflects qualities that can complement your current journey, offering different perspectives that encourage both stability and personal growth. They are intended as invitations for reflection rather than predictions of specific encounters or guaranteed outcomes. As we reach the close of this reading, remember that its purpose is not to tell you exactly what will happen, but to offer a thoughtful space for reflection. Astrology is often most meaningful when it inspires greater awareness rather than certainty. Take what genuinely resonates with your heart and allow the rest to pass without pressure or expectation. Your intuition remains the most trustworthy guide as you continue shaping your own path with patience, courage, and intention, one thoughtful choice at a time. If this reading has given you a moment of clarity or encouragement, I'd truly appreciate your support with a like. It helps these reflections reach others who may be searching for the same sense of perspective and reassurance during their own journey. If you'd like to continue sharing this path together, you're always welcome to subscribe and turn on notifications for future readings. Thank you for spending these moments with me, for your openness, and for allowing me to be part of your reflection during August 10 and 11, 2026. I hope these days bring you greater peace, deeper confidence, meaningful connections, and many opportunities to continue growing at your own steady, authentic pace.